So here you're given an equation of a circle, but it's not written in standard form. So what we want to do is rewrite this equation in standard form. So what you do is called completing the square. And the idea, and here's the simple trick about it. You just take, see how this is, I'm going to rewrite where the x's are together and then the y's are together. So you see how I put the x's together and then the y's together. Okay, so I did that. That's a positive y squared. So I'm going to move the 52 over. All right, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to subtract 52 from both sides. Negative 52 on the other side. Okay, so far so good. Now, here's what you do. Remember the standard form of a circle. Oops, it's supposed to be a y minus k squared equals r squared. That's the standard form of a circle. That's what we're trying to get it into. So to make this into this, here's what you do. You take half the value of this guy. You take half that value, and you put it in for h. So you wind up with x minus, so half of negative 10 would be negative 5. And I'm just going to go ahead and write the negative 5 in there. I'm just going to write negative 5 down there. All right. And then plus y, and I'm going to take half of this 12. Half of negative 12 would be negative 6 equals negative 52. Now, here's what you've done. Here's what you've done. That is not exactly the same as what you started with. Okay? This needs to be the same as this. So if I was to multiply this out, I get x squared, negative 5x, negative 5x, positive 25. And then those two guys would go together. I'd have x squared minus 10x plus 25. So this in orange is actually this whole thing. Okay, so you rewrote it as these two are interchangeable. That's what you wrote it as. Well, check it out. You've got x squared and you got 10x. That's what the original called for. But now look, inside of here, when you multiply this out, there's a positive 25. You now have a positive 25 on the left side. Well, remember what you do. If you add to one side, you got to add it to the other. So you're going to take that value. Remember how you got it? It was 5 times 5. So you're going to take that value, square it, and add it to the other side. All right, same thing over here. You're going to take, to get the negative 6, we took half of negative 12 to get negative 6. Now I want to square that value, 36. I'm going to add it over here. So we wind up with x minus 5 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals, what would that be? 11, let's see, 25, 30, 61, 9? So here is the same equation. This is the same equation as what you started with. Okay, and the center of this circle would be at 5, 6. Remember, you changed the values, or changed the signs. And then your radius, well, that's r squared. So that means the radius is 3. The radius is 3. Okay, so let's try another one. X squared plus y squared plus 3x minus 8y equals 0. So there's no value over here. It just says equals 0. So I didn't have to, remember how the last time I had to move that 52 over. I don't have to do it with this one. So I'm going to write these guys next to each other. Let's make that a 4x. I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. Make that a 4x. Okay, so now you take half that value, Half of 4 is 2. Square it. Now, what is 2 squared? It's 4. So I'm going to add 4 over here. All right. What's half of negative 8? Negative 4. Well, what is 4 squared? It's 16. And there's a 0 there. So 16 and 4 makes 20. So you have x plus 2 squared, y minus 4 squared equals 20. This is the same thing as that. Your center would be at negative 2, 4, and your radius squared equals 20. So the radius is the square root of 20. Square root of 20 can be broken down as 4 times 5, which is the same as the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. And the square root of 4 is 2. There's your simplified version.